Bill, I missed the connection to Manorville. Did Rex have property there? No, Manorville was a huge, just fields and fields of woods, miles and miles. And the bodies of Valerie Mack and Jessica Taylor were recovered there, as well as they were cut up. So they were also found where the Gilgo bodies were found. So that's, and initially, they were listed as Jane Does, both of them. And through DNA technology, they were able to identify them as part of this investigation. The FBI, with their investigative genetic genealogy, where these labs are just doing unbelievable work that couldn't be done years ago, but it's being done right now. Folks, this is Police Off the Cuff, real crime stories. If you like real crime, true crime from a police perspective, you're in the right place. And if you're not subscribed to us, just hit that subscribe button. It's free. Give us a thumbs up, hit the like button. Share us with your friends and your family. Also, if you want to contribute to us financially, we have a Patreon with 4 different levels. We have a YouTube channel memberships, which is growing and growing with 5 different memberships. And we appreciate all of our fans, our friends, our subscribers that keep this show going and growing. And I thank you guys all for that. I'm going to play this video. This tells a lot in this video that may answer some of your questions.
Jessica Taylor's head and hands were cut off when she was found in Manorville 20 years ago. Investigators finding them on Ocean Parkway in 2011. She was an escort working in New York City, reported missing out of Washington, D.C. She was identified by a tattoo the killer failed to fully scrape off her hip.
When she says that the killer failed to fully scrape off her hip, that means he tried to do that. He tried to scrape off an identifier off Jessica Taylor's hip so that she wouldn't be ID'd. So, again, getting back to modus operandi, signature, and staging. Would that be considered a part of staging, trying to destroy evidence so that a victim could be identified? Mike?
Yeah, Billy, it can, because, you've seen a million homicides, Phil, me. How many people are going to take the time and the effort to cut off someone's hands, their feet, their head? That takes time. It takes effort. Now you've got body parts. You have the torso. I don't mean to be disgusting or graphic, but you have to hide that torso. Okay. Now you're making it hard on yourself, because now you have to hide hands, feet, and a head also. So now you've got 2 different ways that you can get caught if you're not very careful. So now you've got that. This person is doing this, is very methodical. They're very smart. They're thinking ahead, to what may happen with law enforcement. If you get a torso, especially 20 years ago in the early 2000s, it may be deteriorated. The DNA technology at that time may not have been is not nearly as good as it is today. You may have a body, part of a body, and nothing else. If the feet or hands end up washed up somewhere, you may not be able to get fingerprints because of the deterioration of the skin. So therefore, this person is doing this, and then you see another body that the same thing has happened. That shows you the commonality, and that can be part of that signature of the killer, that this is what they do. Because not only do you kill in a certain type of person in a certain area, but you also dispose of them in a certain way. And how you do it is by taking the time to do all those little things that maybe nobody who is nearly as smart does, and therefore you're hiding, and maybe you get a higher rate of success in your homicide. But yeah, absolutely, because you don't see too often where someone's a killer and they dismember the body. That takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of forethought, and usually someone just wants to get the hell out of there as fast as they can, and they don't take the time to do this. This shows me that the killer felt relaxed enough to take the time to do this, and they were in an area where they could not be seen. There would be no witnesses, so therefore, this is a very smart and methodical killer. Definitely.
Absolutely. From the chat, Ali Books. Sergeant Bill, he purchased the camera in 2009 from my job. Do you think he could have 10 pictures of his victims? And I wonder if they found any pictures or cameras. Ali Books, great question. And guess what? If the police did, they're not telling us. But
Right.
you can be sure that if they did, that will be used as additional investigative evidence. And if it is, in fact, evidence to help their case in prosecuting him. In additional evidence, I mean, as could there be pictures on a camera or cameras of unidentified victims? And that could absolutely help to keep this investigation going and to find potential victims that are no longer with us. Gina Marie from the chat. I wonder if he keeps any trophies from the victims.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Gina Marie, I would almost guarantee he does. I didn't take part in any of these searches of his home, of the storage facilities he had, of his job. Just think about the burner phones he had. One of the burner phones was, being used to talk back and forth, of course. Couldn't that be almost like a trophy? Because he didn't get rid of them. When he was arrested, the police recovered them. Because don't forget, a trophy is used to relive the thrill of what he finds thrilling, which is killing. So that could be considered a trophy also. Nicole LeBlanc, I would be willing to bet that results came back on some items that obtained in the first search of Rex Human's residence that linked him to Manaville. Hence the new searches of Manaville and Rex Human's house. Nicole, very intuitive. I think you're 100% right with that. That's why I think certain aspects of this case also cloud up the case a little bit, And specifically, I don't think I have to draw a picture. There's people, there was a former escort that said she had dated Rex Human. And I don't know if, in fact, that woman was really telling the truth or really seeing things clearly. The same thing with some of the information that Attorney John Ray came forward with about the swingers that came to Rex Human's house and that his wife Asa Ellerup knew. I don't know if that is just the figment of someone's imagination reporting this, and because there wasn't great detail in it, if you noticed. But now this is evidence that will connect point A to point B to point C to point D. And that if you use this evidence in a court of law, that is what gets someone convicted, not quadruple hearsay from 30 years ago. That's really hard to vet that information. Very difficult to do.